Hello kids, let us come again back to history lessons. In the last class, we have studied about the situations of India from the beginning of 18th century and the conditions in which British got opportunity to capture positions and territory in India, especially in Bengal area. And we had studied that the influence of British in the revenue field of Bengal resulted in the tensed situations and ended in battles later. After the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, Bengal had its own Nawabs like Murshid Quli Khan, Ali Wardi Khan, and then Siraj Dowla. All of them were strong rulers. So they refused the demands of British East India Company to trade duty free in Bengal or to mint coins and stopped their fortifications in different part of Bengal and claimed that company made huge losses for Bengal government without paying taxes properly and writing humiliating and insulting letters to Nawab. So both British and Bengal Nawabs were not in a good terms and conditions which ended in Battle of Plassey. Let us go through the incidents of Battle of Plassey which was happened in 1757.
The Battle of Plassey. You will be able to list the factors that led to the Battle of Plassey. List the reasons for the defeat of Siraj-ud-Dowla in the Battle of Plassey. The East India Company felt that the large fee demanded by the Nawabs and the local rulers to carry on trade was unfair. They also felt that the enlargement of settlements, buying of villages and building of forts which were banned by the Nawab were necessary for the expansion of their trade. What the company wanted was a puppet ruler who would act in their favor. So they tried to replace the then Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowla, with one of his rivals. This angered Siraj-ud-Dowla and he ordered the company to stop interfering in his governance affairs. He also ordered the company to stop fortifying their settlements and pay their taxes. When the company failed to accede to his demands, the Nawab marched with 30,000 of his men and took control of Qasim Bazar and Calcutta Fort. He cut off all supplies and support to the company's ships. To aid the company, armed forces were sent from Madras under the leadership of Robert Clive. The company's naval fleet was also sent. Robert Clive defeated Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla at a place called Palashi in 1757 in the famous Battle of Plassey. The main reason for Siraj-ud-Dowla's defeat was Mir Jafar, one of his commanders who turned traitor and never fought the battle. Robert Clive had promised Mir Jafar that he would be made Nawab after Siraj-ud-Dowla for his services. The Battle of Plassey was the company's first victory on Indian soil.
After this defeat of Siraj-ud-Dowla in this battle, he was murdered and Mir Jafar made the Nawab by the British and hoped more support from him for the expansion of trade of British in India. But when Mir Jafar started his protest against British, he was deposed and another person, Mir Qasim, was made the ruler. Soon, Mir Qasim also was not ready to accept every of the demands of British and was not willing to be a puppet ruler. So he revolted. But British crushed him in the another battle that is called the Battle of Buxar in 1764 and Mir Jafar was reposted once again. As the Nawab was really a puppet under Britishers, they could demand more money and territory. When Mir Jafar died in 1765, Clive declared that Bengal as a part of their own territory without appointing any more Indians as the rulers or the Nawabs of Bengal. After this declaration of Robert Clive that there will be no more Indian rulers in Bengal, the then Mughal ruler at Delhi, Alamgir II, gave the company Diwani right, by which British could collect taxes from different area where they have their position. Early when they came here as traders and they imported gold and silver to buy good from or different type of goods from India. But now as they got Diwani right, they could collect money from India itself to purchase whatever different items they need to collect from India. That's why they stopped the outflow of gold from Britain, and using the money collected from different part of Bengal in the name of Diwani, they were able to purchase everything including cotton, silk, and also were able to maintain their army and to meet the different expenses for them in the name of fortification or to set up new offices or factories, etc. When the company got authority in Bengal to collect money or taxes, that made them to earn more as much as possible through trade also. After Battle of Plassey, actual Nawabs were forced to give land and also money to the company. Robert Clive himself acquired his fortune from India. He came in his 18th age of year in 1743 and returned to Britain in 1767 with enormous wealth from India, absolutely that he earned from either trade or being an officer. And it is also says that he was a man of corruption. That's why he was cross-examined in 1772 by the British Parliament, suspecting his vast wealth. Even though he was acquitted, he committed suicide in 1774. So, not all company officials were corrupted. Many came here just for trade and also gradually they earned money. And these also were called, or such people were called as Nabobs, another version of Nawabs. After the Battle of Buxar in 1764, British company appointed an officer called resident in different states of India where they have power. These residents were political and commercial agents of the British East India Company. They started to interfere in the internal or political activities of the state and they become the kingmakers of that state. And later the company introduced one another important policy called subsidiary alliance also. As per this subsidiary alliance, Indian rulers were not allowed to have their own army, but instead they were to be protected by the British company by their own British soldier, and the king needed to pay for the maintenance of the British army in their own state. So by this new policy, if the Indian ruler is failed to pay or to maintain the British army in their own state, that territory was annexed by British as a penalty. This was introduced by British officer called Lord Richard Wellesley, who was the Governor General of British East India during that period of 1798 to 1805. By this subsidiary alliance, Richard Wellesley was able to capture half of the territory of Awadh in 1801 as the Nawab failed to pay for the British army, and Hyderabad Nawab also forced to give a part of his land on the same reason. So, when British East India Company got victory over Sirajuddaulah in 1757 after the Battle of Plassey, they were able to strengthen their power in different parts of India with different policies. They used the Diwani right to collect money and to expand their trade. Later, interfered in the internal affairs of Indian states through appointment of an officer called a resident, and also was very cunning to capture Indian land through implementing subsidiary alliance. So, instead of waging wars to expand power by the British, they practiced a varieties of techniques in India. So children, Not only Battle of Plassey or Battle of Buxar, many other battles also fought in India or in the land of India by the Britishers in order to expand their authority. So we can study the remaining portions of the same lesson in the next class. So study well, get updated. Thank you. Have a nice day.